So today we are at Grand Canyon and we're going to Mother's Point, and what I'm going to show you is two things. First, the views, the vistas, it's really nice, but the people, it's crazy the amount of people that we see here. So far I don't think we've seen that many people, maybe at Arches, but nevertheless the views are beautiful and I'm hoping you're going to enjoy it.
At this point of our trip, being October, the weather forecast was an important factor in deciding where to go and when. So we headed to the south rim of the Grand Canyon, simply because it's warmer than the northern part. But the night came upon us very quickly, so we retreated to our campground place, and the campfire that I lit on didn't help to keep us warm. But the heating system the next morning was a real success, and a lot easier to turn on.
No. Coucou Eddie.
Est-ce que nous voudrions se réchauffer la main?
The next day, we woke up to a clear blue sky, so we put our backpacks on and went for a hike. As there are many viewpoints at Grand Canyon, there's a free shuttle bus service that takes you along the rim across the most popular viewpoints. For those who want to push the adventure a bit further, there's even a path that goes down the Grand Canyon, but our kiddos and shoulders weren't up to the task. It's at Grand Canyon that we started a Junior Ranger program for Tom, which is a book that every park in the US prepares, with loads of information about the plants, the animals you can see in the park. And once you complete it, you present your activities back to your ranger, who will tell you if you did a good job to swear in and become a Junior Ranger. The reward is a beautiful badge or pin with the logo of the park, so you can collect it for every park you visited. This is really a great thing. It's extremely well organized and it's really stimulating and rewarding for kids. So our kiddos were a lot more focused and observing things around them, and Tom could share with Elliot everything he discovered. There are so many viewpoints at Grand Canyon, and even the same place could be very different based on the day and the time you visit it. The colors, for example, could change, and it's beautiful as well to see the clouds dancing on the ground as they pass by in the sky. After this long hike, it was time for the kids to rest, but not before Tom would present his activities to a real ranger.
What is your name?
Comment tu t'appelles?
And the planet Earth.
Et la planète Terre.
Tom had done a great job, and after swearing to protect the park, he got his badge. His smile says it all. And it was time already for us to move back north to Page in Arizona, where you can see these beautiful horseshoe bands.
Morning everybody. So we slept at Walmart this night, and it's good to stop here because you get the Wi-Fi and you get to shop the next day. So we do the groceries for the rest of the week. We don't miss too much, but still there's couple of fresh things that we need. And we are in Page, Arizona, and what is interesting here is that we're really near the Antelope Canyon. There's lots of things around, and we're nearby Zion and Bryce Canyon, so there's loads of RVs on the parking lot, as you can see, which is not something we've seen in other places.
And here we were at Antelope Canyon. This place ranks really high on Shaka's bucket list for this trip, and we debated whether to go or not given the price to get in is quite expensive. But kids don't pay, and we decided to go to the lower canyon instead of the upper one. The lower canyon is supposed to be a bit more demanding, so there's less people. Although you can feel the crowds, you can still get sometimes on your own without anybody around. We really recommend this place. It's amazing, and as much as I was a bit doubtful whether it's worth it or not, I got out of it completely convinced that it is a must-do. Tom and Elliot were either on our back or running free, which they really enjoyed, and it's quite safe. We were really amazed by the colors. If you look at the stones, it changes pretty much every minute based on the angle of the sun. And you have all these orange, red, and even blues that are really amazing. We were really lucky to have a good tour guide. He was very instructive. He helped us a lot with taking great shots and helping us with the settings that he knew inside out for whether an iPhone, Samsung's, or whatever type of smartphone and camera you had. He could help you work it out to make sure you get the best pictures. But what was great is he allowed us to stay a little bit behind so that the kids could walk at their own pace. We all got out the canyon with a huge smile on our faces, and Shaka was really happy to have knocked down one of her items on the bucket list for this trip. And we're now taking you to the border of Utah and Arizona, to one of the most iconic places in the US. But before that, let us show you goosenecks. This place looks a bit like Horseshoe Bends in Page, but has a lot more scenery to it. And without any further ados, let us take you to Monument Valley. This place is iconic and is on the list of anyone who wants to do a road trip in the US. And we got quite lucky somehow, because when we got there it was really cold and cloudy. And on the day that we visited the park, which is a Navajo tribe property, it all cleared up, the temperatures went up so we could really enjoy it, and we could get out of the car and the kids could play around. The views inside the park are breathtaking, and that's why hotels charge you a fortune to spend a night there. But when you have your own camper van, you can dine with your family alone on a hill like that, and look at the sun setting down on the rock formations, alone for free. What isn't there to love about van life, really?